to talk about breathing. This is going to set the foundation for everything else that you do in my program. The four body types are going to need the breathing techniques. And the reason why I emphasize the breathing so much is because this is what's going to ultimately allow your intercostal muscles as well as your deep core musculature. Allows those accessory muscles to work, and it really functionally needs the core muscles to activate, to contract and relax. Upon inhalation, we expand the rib cages, and upon exhalation, the rib cages kind of contract down to get all the air out of the lungs. So there's a definitive muscular activation and deactivation, or stretching and contracting. This type of synergetic muscle energy, reactive forces and contractions are going to be huge for you to kind of open up the energy channels up here in the lungs. A four-way expansion like that, and then exhalation, contraction. Okay, make sure that your pelvic floor is able to activate as well, and really get all the core musculature inside, deep within. Like if you can place your fingers right out here, right under the rib cages, when you exhale, I don't want you to be hunched down to try to get this muscles to activate or contract, but I want you to keep nice and tall posture and be able to breathe through your rib cages, like so. And upon the last exhalation breath, you should be able to palpate underneath the lowest part of your rib cage and not be able to dig your fingers in under your rib cage. It should be nice and taut. And you should actually be walking around like that in your normal activities, just to know that your core is working for you. You're not being collapsed with your gut hanging out. Okay? So let's try that a few more times. Do that about 5 times with axial elongation level 1. This is a great exercise to just open up the abdominal cavity, to get some nice space between the spinal discs, and to get nice energy flowing in all our organs in here. Not only that, it gives us nice and open posture that's firm and stable. So remember to keep your abdominals and your core musculature nice and firm and engaged the whole time. Okay? What I want you to do is ideally try to keep your 2 feet nice and together, deeply rooted down to the mat. If you have a yoga mat, great. If you have any type of exercise mat, that would be great too. But just keep in mind, the more cushier that they might be, the more difficult it is for you to balance. Okay? So if you can just balance on 2 feet, nice and together, make sure, so nice contact on the mat with the feet. Okay? So keeping that in mind, we're going to go ahead and inhale all the way up. Grab with your right hand the left wrist, and you're going to pull up some more. And exhale. And slightly lean over to the right side. So make sure that the left and the right side of the spine stays nice and long. You're going to inhale and exhale for 3 breaths. Make sure that your abdominal muscles stay nice and firm and engaged. Nothing is gushing out of you. Everything stays nice and firm, especially your quadriceps. Next inhalation, bring it back center. Get your axial elongation again here in the center and switch sides. So left hand now is going to grab a hold of the right wrist. Reach up toward the ceiling. Inhale and exhale. Stretch over to the left side. Ever so slight stretch. Keeping the left and the right side of the spine nice and long. You should feel a slight stretch on the right side of the body. And make sure, pay attention to your feet to make sure that they stay grounded and rooted into the floor. And try to keep your elbows locked out so that this creates a long vertical elongation through the spine. And inhale back center and exhale your arms down by your side. So that was axial elongation level 1. Wallflower level 1. So feet stay slanted out or rotated out. Knees follow, hips follow. There should be about a 45-degree angle out of the toes, and then the knees should be right. Kneecaps should line up when you bend to the second toe. Make sure that the knees follow your feet, okay? Keeping your hands right on your pelvis. You're gonna inhale, keep it nice and tight, the core musculature tight. Keep your hands on your hips. Inhale and exhale. We're gonna do this 10 times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Try to keep the 90-degree angle between the knee and the feet. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And inhale. When you come up, I want you to go ahead and engage your quads. They're not just being lazy, but everything stays nice and active. Every movement should follow the breath. So make sure you're keeping my breathing pattern. So exhale down and inhale up. Exhale and inhale. Exhale and inhale. You do about 10 of these and you'll feel the burn in your quads. So I'm going to incorporate some yoga moves in this. So we're going to go into the warrior. So let's have the right foot straight to one side and then the back foot or the left foot turned in 45-degree angle. Okay, arms are going to go out to the side here and keeping everything square toward the middle and toward the center, keeping the pelvic bone nice and leveled. We're going to go ahead and bend here, making sure that the knee never passes the foot and that you respect the 90-degree angle right here, okay? I don't want any, leaning to one side, any abnormality here. Keep it nice and centered. You're right above your pelvic bone, so never lean to one side. So keep that in mind. You're going to be here. This is warrior 1 and back. We're going to do this 10 times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale 10 times. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Make sure that the left side, left foot stays nice and flat, and left and the right foot stays, carries 50-50 of the weight. That you're not leaning just to the right side. That's the tendency. Arms stay engaged and make sure your muscles are working here. So there's some energy through the arms as well. There's not a single muscle that's not working in your body. And then your spine stays nice and tall. So that means your core needs to stay active. If believe that's 10. So we're going to slowly turn the right foot in 45 degrees and left foot all the way straight. Make sure you stay aligned, and if you can be in front of the mirror, even better. So we're going to do 10 times here. Inhale and exhale. Let's even look toward the front hand, keeping that focus. Inhale and exhale. And remember what I said, the contact with the feet to the floor is very important. Left and the right side carrying even weight. There's some active arms here. So my arms are working just as hard as my legs. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. My torso should stay right above my pelvis. Okay? Core stays active. All right, so we're going to turn it in and walk our feet out. Let's reach up, stretch, and bring your arms down by your side. Chair 2 is with the arms. Same thing, but with the arms. Inhale up and exhale. You're going to stay here for 15 seconds. Raise your toes up, feet together if you can. If you can't, you can have it slightly apart. It just gives you a little bit more base of support. And those of you who have poor balance, you can start out with your feet slightly apart. Okay? Keep your shoulders down and back, energy through the arms, and really keep your knees behind your toes and core locked out, and there's space in your spine because your core is active. And hold it here for 15 seconds. Okay? And all the way up. And like I said, we're going to go ahead and go down and hold. And inhale up and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. And inhale and exhale. Okay. The hardest chair is going to be if you can really get back. There is an invisible chair behind you. And you see, I'm not as high, I'm not as low here. But if I go really deep and stay here, it's going to really burn. And especially keep your toes up. For those of you who are more advanced, this would be considered advanced chair. My legs are already burning. Okay, I want you to hold that for 15 seconds. And back.